Historical price increases, inflation, the market is crashing, there's a recession coming. There's so much noise right now out in the market and on the news. And if you're a buyer or seller or just a person, you probably aren't quite sure how to make sense of it. And sometimes that confusion can lead to inaction. It's better to freeze and not do anything than make the wrong choice. But I'm here to tell you that time punishes those who are indecisive. The only thing that's constant is change. And this market is changing rapidly. But it's hard to know, is the sky falling? Are we gonna be okay? What's going on with prices and mortgage rates? What's happening with inventory? Are we headed into a crash? And if we did, how would that affect you? If I had a crystal ball, I would love nothing more than to be able to tell you the exact right time to buy and the exact right time to sell. But my crystal ball is foggy. So all I can tell you is what I'm seeing happening in the market right now. And right now, I'm seeing that those who waited wished they hadn't. Sellers that I'm sitting in front of every day are wishing that maybe they'd capitalized on the insanity of 2021. And buyers that I meet with are often wondering if they should have bought last year and waited too long. So in this graph that I found from Florida Realtors, it looks at the average price from 2020 to 2022. If you look at this graph, you can see lots of peaks and valleys. But here's the most important part. On average, the general trend of this graph is up. Even a valley tends to be somewhat higher than previous peaks. Now, is that true for every single data point and every single date in history? No, and that's where that imaginary crystal ball would come in really handy. But what I can tell you is that these general trend lines tend to go in an upward direction. So even though one particular day might be cheaper than the next, the overall trend is that prices are increasing. And even though the most recent data has had a drop in prices, what I want you to pay attention to is that that drop is still higher than any point in 2020 or 2021. So even though we've seen a current decrease, you're still paying more than the person who bought a house last year. And in Alachua County in July of 2022, the average sales price was $342,195. In 2021, the highest month of the entire year was September, where that average price was $331,196. If you waited, you're probably paying more, either in interest, price, or both. The shift has allowed some breathing room. You get to choose from more houses, but the numbers don't lie. If you're waiting, you're paying more. And with our still historically low inventory rates, there's not enough houses for that to flip. So even though I can't predict what prices are gonna be in December or March of 2023, what I can tell you is that the data is showing this shift is happening slow, but prices are still increasing. Because in the last 6 recessions, in 4 of them, housing prices went up. Now, let's look at closed sales for Alachua County and do some comparison over the last couple of years. What you'll see is closed sales are down 11.2%, which means if you're a seller, it's getting a little bit harder to sell your house. Is it impossible? No. Are you still getting strong offers? Absolutely. But it's not quite as overwhelmingly amazing as it was a year ago. On average, every time I listed a house in 2021, I listed it on a Thursday or Friday. By Sunday, we had multiple offers, and by Monday, my sellers were making choices and negotiating. Now, a house can sit on the market for a week or 2, 3, sometimes even longer. As buyers have more choices in inventory, the houses are not moving as quickly. Now, think back to the Great Recession of 2008 and 8, 9, 10, 11. After that, it was not uncommon for a house to sit on the market for months. So 2 to 3 weeks is still fantastic, but it feels like a long time compared to 2 to 3 days of last year. And with the fact that buyers now have a little bit more time to breathe, the prices are still strong, but it also means as a seller, you might have to do some negotiating. You may not sell for above asking price. You may have to do some repairs. So in addition to the house taking a little bit longer, there may be some more work on your end. None of this means that the sky is falling. If you're a buyer and you're looking at the increase in price, what I would say is don't look back, look forward. What is next year going to bring? All the industry experts have predicted price appreciation, which means prices are gonna go up. They may not go up 20%, they may not go up 15%, they may only go up 8%, but that's still more that you're paying tomorrow versus today. And sellers, you may hear those rising prices and see that data point and think, I'm gonna hold out. Guess what? You absolutely can. But what I will tell you is the conversations I'm having in people's dining rooms around their kitchen table is that it's a strong market, your house is gonna sell, but it's gonna take longer, and the appreciation has shifted. So whereas a year ago, you could say your neighbor's house sold for $450, let's put it on the market for $475 and sell it for $500. Now I'm telling my sellers, okay, your neighbor's house sold for $450. That's probably where we need to start, if not maybe a little bit under, because there's 10 more houses in the neighborhood for sale. It's all about inventory. It's all about leverage as a seller. So whether you're buying, whether you're selling, everybody's situation is different. There is not a one size fits all for real estate. So this is all to just point you into the right direction. Get yourself educated and informed, ask questions, and have conversations with a real estate professional. They're going to be able to look at your individual picture and help you determine what's the next best step for you. But please don't allow crazy headlines or clickbait articles to make you freeze and not do anything. At the very least, have the conversation and see if the time is right. Because if you wait, you might regret it. If today has inspired you to do a deeper dive and get yourself educated on the real estate market, then be sure to check out my video on what's actually happening with real estate prices today. I'm Lindsey Johnson, your resource for all things real estate. See you next time.